Hello students, welcome back to today's class on coordinate geometry. In the last class we had discussed about area of the triangle in two different formulas, and now we're going to continue with some properties of or some formulas related to straight lines, and then we're going to discuss some problems based on all the topics that we have discussed, right? My name is Avinash and I'm a graduate from IIT Kharagpur. Let's continue today's session. So, what is the first thing we're going to discuss about a straight line? You know what is a straight line? From the lower classes you're learning lines, right? So you know what is a straight line. This is a straight line, you can say. This is a straight line. It's a line. Okay, you can say this is a line segment. You can say this as a ray, right? So all these are some related to lines. This is a straight line, this is a line, the line segment, this is a ray. Correct? Now, for a straight line, can be drawn joining any 2 points. For example, if you have only 1 point, now tell me how many lines can be drawn using this point? How many straight lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on. Infinite points, infinite lines can be drawn passing through 1 point. But for a straight line to be unique, to be fixed, to fix its position, we need to have at least 2 points. We need to have at least 2 points. So 1 point is here and 1 point is here. So if you join this, you will get only one possible line. You cannot have infinite lines like this, right? So slope of a straight line. So what is the slope of a straight line? I told you just now, a line can be drawn joining any 2 points. For example, a point is here and the other point is here, right? You know what is a coordinate plane, what is a Cartesian plane, what is x-axis, what is y-axis. Let me tell you using that concept. It will be more easy to understand, right? So whenever a line is inclined with x-axis, okay, every line will be inclined with x-axis, right? So that angle, whatever we are discussing here, whatever the angle is formed using some trigonometrical applications that we're not going to cover now. Okay, so we get something called a slope of a line. So slope is nothing but simply it says the orientation with respect to axis. Either it is in this way, or whether it is in horizontal or vertical or inclined this way. So the slope is a parameter that says how inclined it is with the Cartesian axis, right? So more about slope and more about geometrical properties of slope we are going to discuss later. But now let's try to understand where and how we are going to use the slope. How are we going to find the slope of a line joining 2 points? Okay, so slope of a line joining 2 points is given by slope is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. This is a very important formula. Very important and very useful formula. I'll give you simple, straightforward 2, 3 and 4, 5. Find the slope of the line joining these 2 points. I ask, find the slope of a line joining these 2 points. This is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. y2 minus y1, 5 minus 3 by x2 minus x1, 4 minus 2. 5 minus 3 is 2 and 4 minus 2 is 2. So 2 by 2 is 1. So that is how you try to bring what is the slope of a line. Slope actually says that it's the orientation. It's a parameter to say the orientation or the inclination of the line. More specifically, you can say the inclination of the line. Okay, with which angle it is inclined with x-axis. Some trigonometric applications are involved in that. Okay, so and every line which is having the same slope, we can say these 2 lines are parallel. We can say these 2 lines are parallel. They have the same orientation. That means they should have the same slope. This line is having 2, 3 and 4, 5 having the slope 1. Some other point, some other line, if it is having the same slope again 1, we can say those 2 lines are parallel. So to get the lines are parallel, it is enough to find the slope of the line. Slope of the lines, right? Next one. So find the slope of the line passing through the points 4, minus 8 and 5, minus 2. Find the slope of the line passing through the points of 4, minus 8 and 5, minus 2. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So now the formula for slope we generally represent with m. Slope we generally represent with m, y2 minus y1 minus 2 minus of minus 8 by x2 minus x1 5 minus 4. Okay, so m is equal to minus 2 plus 8 by 5 minus 4 is 1. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 by 1. Okay, find the slope of the line passing through the points 4, minus 8 and 5, minus 2. So minus 2 minus of minus 8 by 5 minus 4. Minus 2 plus 8 by 1. So that will give you 8 minus 2 as 6. Right? That is the slope of the line joining these two given points. Moving ahead, find the slope of the line joining 2, 0 and 3, 0. This is very important again. 2, 0 and 3, 0. You need to understand something here. I'll tell you what is that. First of all, let's try to understand the slope of this line. So x1, y1 and x2, y2. So we can say m is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So 0 minus 0 by x2 minus x1, 3 minus 2. So that will give you 0 by 3 minus 2 is 1. That will give you 0. So what happened? The slope is 0. What do you mean by slope being 0? That means it is not inclined with x-axis. That means if you carefully observe the points 2, 0 and 3, 0. 2, 0 is a point on x-axis as well as 3, 0 is also a point on x-axis. We are just trying to find the slope of the line, slope of x-axis. Okay, so from this information I can say that slope of x-axis is 0. Slope of x-axis is 0 and slope of any line parallel to x-axis will also be 0. Slope of any line parallel to x-axis will also be 0. Next, other point here, you understand, you try to take few points on y-axis and try to find the slope of y-axis, and you please tell me what we will get using that slope of y-axis. Right? So moving ahead, find the slope of the line joining the points 3, 4 and 4, 5. 3, 4 and 4, 5. Quickly, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. I am not even writing the formula. M is equal to y2 minus y1 5 minus 4 by x2 minus x1 4 minus 3. 5 minus 4 is 1 by 4 minus 3 is 1. So slope is 1. So very simple, very straightforward. Just in 1 minute, just in 10-20 seconds you can directly tell the answer. What is the slope of the line? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Right? So moving ahead, find the slope of the line joining AB and BA. So one point is A, B, other point is B, A. So slope is y2 minus y1 A minus B by x2 minus x1 B minus A. So if you take negative common, A minus B by A minus B will get, if you take negative common, so these two will be cancelled to get the value minus 1. These two will be cancelled to get the value minus 1, right? So moving ahead, next one, find the slope of the line joining the points 2a, 3b and a, minus b. Simple, x1, y1, x2, y2. So what is the slope formula? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 minus b, y2 minus y1 minus b minus 3b by x2 minus x1 a minus 2a. So minus b minus 3b is a minus 4b by a minus 2a is a minus a. So these two negatives gets cancelled. So your final value of the slope of the line is a 4b by a. The slope of the line is a 4b by a. Right? So moving ahead. So one more point, 0, 4 and 4, 0. 0, 4 and 4, 0. You have x1, y1. You have x2, y2. So slope of the line is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So minus 4 by 4, which is equal to minus 1. So slope of the line joining 0, 4 and 4, 0 is minus 1. Right? So let's move ahead. Very simple. I'm just going a bit fast so that these are very simple questions you can try to do yourself using just one formula, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Right? Next one. Determine x so that 2 is the slope of the line passing 2, 5 and x, 3. So a line joining 2, 5 and x, 3 has a slope which we generally represent with m. Okay, which we generally represent with m. So slope is equal to 2. Slope is equal to, and what is the slope formula? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So y2 minus y1 by 3 minus 5 by x2 minus x1, x minus 2. Okay, that is the slope. So slope is equal to 3 minus 5 is minus 2 by x minus 2, and that slope is given as a 2. That slope is given as 2. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So you're left with minus 1 by x minus 2 is equal to 1. That will give you minus 1 is equal to x minus 2. So bring this minus to this side, becomes a plus 2. Minus 1 plus 2 becomes x. So x is equal to 2 minus 1. You will get x is equal to 1. You will get x is equal to 1. It is a very simple calculation. Okay, just the thing is, apply that formula, apply the slope formula y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, and try to remember that slope is already given as 2 and equate to that and try to find the value of x. A very simple question, right? Next one. So we have couple of practice questions. So let's try to practice them. Okay. So the area of the triangle whose vertices are minus 6, minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 2, 5 will be. So A minus 6, minus 2, B minus 4, minus 6, C minus 2, 5. So we need to find the area, which is this is x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. So area is equal to half mod x1 times of y2 minus y3. I'm not going to do this one now. Plus x2 times of y3 minus y1 plus x3 times of y1 minus y2. So this is how you can try to proceed, right? So using all these values x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3, just keep substituting here and you can try to find the answer. Okay, so please do it yourself. Let's move for one more question. What is the slope of the line passing to the points minus 2, 3 and 2, 7? Minus 2, 3 and 2, 7. The slope is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So 7 minus 3 by x2 minus x1. 2 minus of minus 2. 7 minus 3 is 4 by 2 plus 2 is again 4, which is equal to 1. The slope of the line joining A minus 2, 3 and B 2, 7 is 1. Okay, next question. Slope of the line, once again the same type of question, you can please do that. 2 minus 3 and 3, minus 4. This is x1, y1 and x2, y2. And you may ask me a question, sir, why are we taking always the first point as x1, y1 and then the second point as x2, y2? It is your wish. You take this one as x1, y, x2, y2, this point as x1, y1, you interchange the numbers, you interchange the pattern, okay, but the final answer will be same. But don't take x1 from here, y1 from here, x2 from here, y2 from here. No, x1, y1 will be together, x2, y2 will be together. Okay, so please be careful in that. So let me see that y is equal to y2 minus y1 minus 4 minus of minus 3 by x2 minus x1 3 minus 2 minus 4 plus 3 by 3 minus 2 is 1. So minus 1 by 1. Slope is equal to minus 1 by 1. Okay. So moving ahead, the distance between the points minus 7, 2 and 5, minus 3. Distance between the points. What is the formula for that? What is the formula to find the distance between two points x1, y1 and x2, y2? So slope is equal to, distance is equal to, not slope. We are trying to find the distance between 2 points. So the formula for distance is equal to root over x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. It is x1 y1 and this is x2 y2. That will give you root over x2 minus x1 5 minus of minus 7 whole square plus y2 minus y1 minus 3 minus 2 whole square. Okay, so 5 minus of minus 7, that is 5 plus 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 square plus minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. Minus 5 square. So 12 square, root over 12 square is 144. 12 square is 144 plus 5 square is 25. So root 144 plus 25. 144 plus 25 is 961 and root 169, if I am not wrong, which is equal to 13 into 13. So that answer will be 13. The distance between these 2 points minus 7 comma 2 and 5 comma minus 3 is 13. Okay, so moving ahead with the next question. So please quickly copy this one. So let's try to go for the next question, right? So what is that? AOBC is a rectangle. Okay, let me draw a rectangle first of all. AOBC is a rectangle whose 3 vertices are A 0, 3, O 0, 0 and B 5, 0. We don't know what is the C, X, Y. Then length of its diagonals is length of its diagonal. Okay, so I think for length of diagonal, I don't think x and the other vertex is required. In a rectangle, both the diagonals are equal in length. Both the diagonals are equal in length. So just try to find what is the distance between A and B. You will get the length of the diagonal. Okay, so AB is equal to root over x1 y1. This is x1 y1, let's say, and x1 y1, and this is x2 y2. So x2 minus x1 whole square 0 minus 5 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square 3 minus 0 whole square. Right, sir? That is the distance between 2 points formula. So 0 minus 5 whole square is 25 plus 3 square is 9. Root 25 plus 9 is root over 34. So root 34 units is the length of the diagonal AB as well as the length of the diagonal OC. Even OC length will be root 34. In a rectangle, both the diagonals lengths are equal and they are same. Okay, so moving forward to the next question. Find the coordinates of the point which divide the line segment joining 4 comma minus 3 and 8 comma 5. Right, find the coordinates of the point which divides the line segment joining the points 4 comma minus 3 and 8 comma 5 in the ratio 3:1. In the ratio 3:1. So we have the formulas, right? So this is x1 y1 and this is x2 y2, and you have the formula for M:3 and ratio. So that formula is being sometimes M:3 or M1:M2. It depends on the book we are following. Okay, the point is mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n, comma my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. So what is mx2? mx2 3 into 8, 8 3 is 24 plus nx1 1 into 4 is 4 by m plus n 3 plus 1 is 4, comma my2 3 times of 5 15 plus ny1 1 into minus 3 is minus 3 by m plus n 3 plus 1 is 4. So 24 plus 4 is 28. So that will give you 28 by 4. 28 by 4, comma 15 minus 3 is 12 by 4. 15 minus 3 is 12 by 4. So 28 by 4 is 7 and 12 by 4 is 3. So the point which divides the line segment in the ratio 3:1 is the point 7, 3. Is the point 7, 3, right? So moving ahead for the next question. Find the values of k for which the points are collinear, and I told you. Now let's try to discuss the same collinearity condition in other sense, not through the area of the triangle but through the slope of the line. Okay, I said these 3 points are collinear. Let's say A, B, C. The points A, B, C are collinear. A 8, 1, B K, -4 and C 2, -5. These 3 points are collinear. That means they are on the same line. That means the inclination of AP and BC will be same. Right? So I can say that slope of AC, the complete line, is equal to slope of AB. You can also equate the slope of BC, whatever it is. Okay. So what is slope of AC? How to get that? What is the slope formula? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Slope of the line joining 2 points, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay. So y2 minus y1, let's say about AC. x1 y1, x2 y2, y2 minus y1 minus 5 minus 1 by x2 minus x1 2 minus 8. That is the slope of AC. Should be equal to slope of AB. y2 minus y1, now this y2. y2 minus y1 minus 4 minus 1 by x2 minus x1, that becomes a k minus 8. Minus 5 minus 1 is minus 6 by 2 minus 8 is again minus 6 equal to minus 4 minus 1 is minus 5 by k minus 8. So minus 6 and minus 6 gets cancelled. So you're left with 1. 1 is equal to minus 5 by k minus 8. Cross multiply. K minus 8 is equal to 5 minus 5 and bring this minus 8 to the other side. K equal to plus 8 and minus 5. So 8 minus 5 value is 3. Right? So this is how you can try to find collinearity condition using the slopes, or else you can also go with the area of the triangle making that to be 0 and ultimately you should get the same answer back. Okay, if there is any calculation mistake, just please try to rectify that. Okay, so the next question we are having, the area of triangle ABC with the vertices is again the area of triangle. You know what is the point, what is the formula, right? I am not going to do that. Area is equal to half mod x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. So using this relation, you have all the points x1, y1, you have x2, y2 and you have x3, y3. So please try to substitute here and try to bring the answer. Okay. So in the same way, we have a couple of more questions. Find the distance of the point from the origin. Minus 6, 8 and origin is 0, 0. How to find the distance? Root over x2 minus x1 whole square, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Root over 0 minus of minus 6 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, 0 minus 8 whole square. So minus of minus 6 is plus 6, 6 square is 36 plus 8 square is 64. 36 plus 64 will give you 100 and you know root 100 is 10 units. Root 100 is 10 units. That is how you can try to find the distance between the point and the origin. Okay, so in that way a couple of more applications are there which we are going to discuss in one more lecture. So I hope you understood this lecture and thank you so much friends. Stay tuned to get the next lecture. Thank you.
Hello students, welcome back to the chemistry session. Let's continue our chapter of atomic structure chapter today. Let's continue this journey and let's enjoy. Previously we had gone to the topic of isobars, isotones, isoelectronic species and isotopes. All these things were covered in the last session, right? And I told you that in the coming session we will be doing the quiz. So today is the session where we will be conducting the quiz on those different topics. Also, this quiz will have different questions related to the previous topics which we have covered yet, right? So before jumping to the topic, before jumping to the quiz, let me give you an idea about myself. My name is Karan and I am from IIT Varanasi. Sorry. From the time of my graduation, I am teaching students who wants to crack JEE as well as NEET, and my subject is chemistry, right? So that is enough for my information. Let's jump to the quiz today. let's jump to the important topic, that is the quiz. Now this is the first question in the quiz. This is my first question in the quiz, and I think that this question is repetitive question. I think that this question is repetitive. Okay, still try to solve this question, get the answer right. If it is repetitive, you know the answer, and if it is not repetitive question, then solve the question. Question says, identify the incorrect statements. 4 statements are given to you regarding the neutron. Identify the incorrect statement, and your timer is running here, right? So go and get it. Go and get the right answer. The timer is going on. Just get the right answer sooner, so that we can get our right answer. It's a previous question only. This question is, I think we have already done in our previous class, one of the classes. So I think you will get the answer directly. If not, I will solve it for you, right? Chalo. Now we have neutron. Now we know neutron is where? Basically this is the atom. This is atom. These are the electron shells, right? K shell, L shell. This is nucleus. Now we know nucleus is what? Nucleus is something which has neutrons and protons, right? So that means neutron is inside the nucleus. So it says neutrons are present outside the nucleus. No, this is not right, right? So I will say that this statement is incorrect. This is incorrect. Neutron mass is same as that mass of electron. No, this is also incorrect, because we know MP is equal to Mn and very, very much greater than Me, right? So this is incorrect, because the statement says mass of neutron is equal to mass of electron, which is not right. Neutron is the heaviest particle, right? Neutron is the heaviest particle. This is correct. In fact, both neutron and proton, they have the same mass, right? Neutron has neutral charge. This is also correct. This is also correct. So we need to find the incorrect statements. So A and C are the incorrect statements, right? So our answer are A and C. Understood? Next question. Now, sorry. Actually today my throat is hurting a bit. I don't know why. Maybe it's changing weather, that's why. But still, it's okay. I'm here for you, you are here for me, we are enjoying the lecture. That's what more is important, right? So the element A, B, C, D, E, there are 5 elements A, B, C, D, E, and they have atomic numbers of 4, 10, 13, 17 and 20. Write down their valency, write down their electronic configuration, valency, and classify them as metals and non-metals. Here I need to teach you one thing. Here I need to tell you what are valencies and how we can classify them as metals and non-metals, right? But you can do one thing, you can do the first part. I have told you earlier also that many times we will be doing the questions where you will be learning the new concepts in the question only. So I haven't taught you yet about the valency, right? Valency I haven't taught you yet, but I will be teaching you now because it is in the question. Similarly, I haven't told you how to identify elements as metals and non-metals. I will tell you this thing also, right? So first of all, write the electronic configurations. I give you 1 minute. Write the electronic configuration of these elements, and then I will tell you how to determine their valency and how to classify them as metals and non-metals. Your timer is running, just do it, right? Just do it. Sorry. Now when it comes to electronic configuration, I think it's easy. It's not that difficult because we have A, we have B, we have C, we have D and we have E, and we have to write the configurations. So we can do it, right? We can do it because we have A with the electrons is equal to 4. The time is here, okay? B the electrons are 10, C, the electrons are 13, D, the electrons are 17, and E, electrons are 20, right? Yes. So now let's write it. KLM, KLMN, right? KLMN. A has 4 electrons, so it is 2, 2, right? B has 10 electrons, so 2, 8. K shell can have max to max 2 electrons. L shell can have 8 electrons maximum. M shell can have 18 electrons. N shell can have 32 electrons, right? C is 13 means 2, 8, 1, right? Then, sorry, C is 13, 2, 8, 1. D is equal to 17 means what? 2, 8, 8 or 2, 10. 10 plus 7, 17. So, 7. E is 20. So, means 2, 8, 10. 10 plus 10, 20. Can I put 10 electrons in M shell? If I put 10 electrons in M shell, that means outermost shell or valence shell is having 10 electrons, which is not possible because valence shell can have maximum 8 electrons. So we'll do one thing, we'll keep 8 electrons here. We'll keep 8 electrons here and 2 electrons here. So 8 plus 2, 10. Right, so this is the configuration. This is the configuration of elements A, B, C, D. So that means A we write as 2, 2. B write as 2, 8. C we write as 2, 8, 1. D we write as 2, 8, 7. And E we write as 2, 8, 8, 2. Right? So first point is done. Write their electronic configuration. This is done. Second point, what is their valency? What is their valency? Now to understand the valency, let me take you to the screen and let's understand the concept of valency. Let's understand the concept of valency. Now the concept of valency says, or definition says that the combining capacity of an element is called its valency. So valency is the combining capacity of an element. What does that mean? Combining capacity was what? Combining capacity means what? Combining capacity means the atoms. See, atoms are very, very unstable. Remember this thing. That atoms are usually unstable. Atoms are usually unstable except inert gases. Or noble gases. Why? The point says atoms are usually unstable except inert gases or noble gases. Why? Because in the case of inert gases or noble gases, they have 8 electrons in their valence shell, right? The noble gases or inert gases, they have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. And according to the Bohrs-Bury rule, we know an atom is stable when it has 8 electrons in the outermost shell. According to Bohrs-Bury rule, an atom is stable when it has 8 electrons in the outermost shell. And in the case of inert gases, we have 8 electrons. So that's why all the inert gases are stable. Like helium, right? Like we have helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. all these noble gases, they are stable. Helium has 2, neon has 2,8, argon has 2, 8, 8, right? Krypton has 2, 8, 18, 8. Xenon has 2, 8, 18, and just a second, 32, 8. 1 second. Yes. Sorry. Yes. 18, 8. Right? This is the configuration. This is the configuration you see. Helium has 2 electrons. Exception. Helium has 2 electrons, but its K shell is filled. Helium has 2 electrons, but its K shell is totally filled. And in case of helium, K shell is the outermost shell. In helium, K shell is outermost shell. In helium, K shell is outermost shell, right? In case of neon, you see 8 electrons, argon 8 electrons, krypton 8 electrons, xenon 8 electrons. Similarly, radon also has 8 electrons, right? Its atomic number is what? 86. And in the last lecture, we have gone through the electronic configuration of radon. It also has 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So that's why, because they have 8 electrons, these atoms, they have 8 electrons in outermost shell, they are most stable. They are most stable, right? So every atom is unstable except the inert gases. So that's why the atoms, all the atoms, they have the tendency, all these atoms, all other atoms, they have the tendency to become stable. They want to become stable. Every atom wants to become stable. They don't want to stay unstable. Okay? Every atom wants to become stable. And how will they do? They will do by gaining the electron or removing the electron or by sharing the electron. So atoms tend to become stable. Atoms tend to become stable by either gaining the electron, or losing the electron, or sharing the electron. Okay, atoms tend to become stable by either gaining the electrons, that they gain electrons, or they lose the electrons, or they share the electrons. Understood? What does that mean? What does that mean? What is the meaning of this point? Tell me. What is the meaning of this point? That atoms tends to become stable. Atom tends to become stable either by gaining the electrons, or by losing the electrons, or by sharing the electrons. That is, for example, if we have chlorine, we have chlorine, right? Chlorine configuration is, chlorine has 17 atomic number. Chlorine Z is equal to 17. That means number of electrons is equal to 17. It is equal to 287. 287. This is the configuration of chlorine, 287. So in case I told you that atoms tend to become stable either by gaining electron, or by losing electron, or by sharing electrons. So chlorine has 287. So tell me, what is more important for chlorine? Gaining 1 electron and becoming 288, or by losing 7 electrons and becoming 28? Now remember, I've told you in the case of Rutherford experiment as well as Bohr's experiment. In the case of Bohr's experiment, I've told you that electron moves out of the atom by gaining the energy. When you give the electron energy, it comes out, right? When you give energy to electron, it comes out. So to remove 7 electrons, it requires very high energy. To remove all the 7 electrons, because it is like what? This is the sodium atom. Sorry, this is the chlorine atom. This is the chlorine atom. It has 2 electrons here, 8 electrons here, 7 electrons here, right? To remove one electron is okay. To remove two electrons is okay. But to remove 7 electrons, from here is very difficult, because it requires huge energy, because energy will come, it will strike the electron, EMR will come, EMR will strike the electron, and this electron will go out, right? So that means huge amount of energy is required to remove 7 electrons from chlorine. So that means instead of removing the 7 electrons, chlorine can do another thing. Chlorine can do alternative thing, that it can gain 1 electron. Chlorine can do one thing, it can gain 1 electron. It can gain 1 electron and make its valence shell have 8 electrons. Right? Chlorine can do one thing, it can gain 1 electron and make its valence shell have 8 electrons. How? If this chlorine atom gains 1 electron, it will form Cl minus. Chlorine atom is neutral, right? This is neutral atom right now. But this neutral atom gains electron from outside. Where this electron goes? Whenever the electron addition, remember this thing, in the neutral atom, whenever the electron addition takes place or electron removal takes place, whenever electron is added into the atom or electron is removed from the atom, it happens in the valence shell. So write it here. Where to write? Yes, write it here. Whenever the atom loses or gain electron, it happens in valence shell only. Okay, it is always happening in the valence shell. In the valence shell only electron will be added, from the valence shell only electron will be removed. So if chlorine is gaining 1 extra electron, this extra electron, it will go here, it will add here, right? So now it is forming Cl minus. Why? Because chlorine has, this chlorine neutral atom, it has 17 protons, 17 electrons, 17 neutrons. Sorry, just a second. Yes, it has, suppose 20 neutrons, suppose isotope of chlorine. Now 17 protons, 17 electrons. We know one proton has +1 charge, one electron has -1 charge. So 17 proton plus 7 electron, 17 proton plus 17 electron is equal to neutral, 0 charge. But when it is Cl minus, in this case 1 electron is extra. So the configuration is 288. Right, it has protons is equal to 17, electrons is equal to 18. Cl minus has proton 17, electrons 18. So minus 18 plus 17, this is minus 18 plus 17 is equal to -1. So that's why -1 charge here, right? But in case of Cl minus, you see, it has 288. Cl minus has 8 electrons in the outermost shell, right? This configuration, Cl minus configuration, you see 288. This configuration is equal to the argon. Right? So that means chlorine can gain 1 electron to become like argon. Right? Understood? Next, let's take another example. In case of chlorine, I said it can gain 1 electron to become like argon, right? It can gain 1 electron to become like argon. And when chlorine has gained 1 electron, it forms Cl minus, right? When chlorine has gained 1 electron, it formed Cl minus. Similarly, for example, sodium. Now sodium has 11 electrons. That means its configuration is 281, right? Now sodium, what is easy for sodium? Tell me what is easy for sodium. Gaining 7 electrons in the outermost shell to become 288, or losing this electron to become 28? Tell me, what is easy for sodium? To lose this extra electron, to lose this valence electron. Electron in the outermost shell is called valence electron, right? Electron in the outermost shell is called valence electron. So what is easy for sodium? To lose this electron or to gain 7 electrons? So two things can happen. It can lose this electron and become like neon, 28. It can gain 7 electrons to become 288. So just like I told you that removing 7 electrons will take a lot of energy. Similarly, adding 7 electrons is also not easy. Right, adding 7 electrons is also not easy. So easy way for sodium Na is to lose one electron. And forms Na+. So when it loses one electron, it forms Na+. Now sodium has 11 protons, 11 electrons, right? Na+ has 11 protons only, but 10 electrons. So one extra charge, one extra positive charge. That's why +1. Right? Now its configuration, Na+ has the configuration of 28. That means 10 electrons. Sodium has 281. Right? So you see, just by losing one electron, it becomes like neon. Sodium, just by losing one electron, becomes like neon. 28. The point is, every atom is jealous of these atoms. Every atom is jealous of these atoms because they are very stable. So that's why sodium also wants to become like that. Chlorine also wants to become like that. Right? Like that means like their configuration. So that's why sodium lost this electron to become like neon, because neon has 28. So it becomes 28. Similarly, take example of calcium. Calcium has 20 electrons, right? And its configuration is 2882. So now calcium will have difficulty in gaining 8 electrons, but it will easily lose 2 electrons. Calcium can easily lose these 2 electrons, but it will be difficulty to add extra 6 electrons in the valence shell. So calcium can do one thing, it can lose 2 electrons and form Ca2+. In Ca2+, its configuration is 288, right? Now you see, calcium lost 2 electrons to become 288, and it is like argon. So calcium copied argon. Calcium become argon by losing 2 electrons, right? Understood? So the combining capacity, definition is combining capacity of an element is called valency. In short, atoms, number of electrons atoms lose, atom lose or gain or share to become like these, right? I can also say that it's an interesting definition. The definition I'm going to give you is very interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to say? Yes. So the number of electrons gained or lost or shared by atom to achieve number of electrons gained or lost or shared by atom to achieve electronic configuration like that of inert gas, inert element is called valency. Understood what is valency? So the electrons gained or lost or shared by atom to achieve the configuration like this, to achieve the electronic configuration like this, right? Whatever atom can done to be like that will become its valency. So that means if you talk about sodium, it is 281, right? So it will lose one electron it will lose one electron to become Na plus, right? So that means sodium has valency of 1. Sodium has valency 1. Sodium has valency 1. It has valency 1. I hope you would have noted all these things. I hope you would have noted all these points, right? So, yes. So let's talk about magnesium. Magnesium has 12 electrons, right? It has 12 electrons. So it is 282. So magnesium can lose these 2 electrons to become like neon, right? It can lose 2 electrons to become like neon. Mg2 plus has 2,8. So again, what is the valency? 2. Magnesium has valency 2. Similarly, aluminium. Aluminium is 283, right? 13 electrons. Aluminium is 281, sorry. 1 second. Yes, 283. Aluminium is 283, right? So in this case, aluminium will lose 3 electrons. It will not gain 5 electrons. Aluminium cannot gain 5 electrons. It's easy for aluminium to lose 3 electrons, then gaining the 5 electrons. So it will minus 3 electrons, it will form Al3 plus. So you see, this charge, this plus charge is equal to number of electrons lost. Aluminium lost 3 electrons, the charge come plus 3, right? So its configuration is 2,8 and the valency is 3 because it lost 3 electrons. Aluminium lost 3 electrons to form Al3 plus, so valency is 3. Similarly, now comes the we say oxygen. Now oxygen has 8 electrons, right? Oxygen atomic number Z is equal to 8. So 8 electrons. It is written as 2,6, right? Now the point is, it's easy for oxygen to gain 2 electrons. Just like it is easy for magnesium, to lose 2 electrons, it is easy for oxygen to gain 2 electrons. So what oxygen will do? It will plus 2 electrons. Oxygen atom plus 2 electrons, it will form O2 minus. It will form O2 minus, right? Oxygen atom has 8 protons, 8 electrons. O2 minus has 10 electrons, 8 protons, right? So you see, 10 electrons, 8 protons, net charge 2, net charge of minus 2, and 10 electrons mean 2,8. So you see, oxygen atom by gaining 2 electrons become like neon. Oxygen atom by gaining 2 electrons become like neon, right? Similarly talk about fluorine. Now fluorine has 9 electrons. So 9 electrons means 2,7. So it's easy for fluorine to gain 1 electron. Right? And it will form, so it will be plus 1 electron. It will form F minus 1. And it has 10 electrons, 9 protons. 10 electrons means 2,8. So you see, fluorine also became like neon by gaining 1 electron. So what is the valency of fluorine? 1, minus 1. What is the valency of oxygen here? Oxygen gained 2 electrons to become like neon, 2 valency. Right? So valency of oxygen is 2. Valency of aluminium is 3. Valency of fluorine is 1. Right? Now, let's talk about carbon. Let's talk about carbon. Now in case of carbon, what happens? We have 6 electrons. So configuration is 2, 4. Now the carbon atom will get confused. It will get confused that shall I lose 4 electrons or shall I gain 4 electrons? Shall I lose 4 electrons to become 2 or shall I gain 4 electrons to become 2,8? right? Carbon atom is confused. What to do? So what happened? Carbon atom decided to share the electrons. Right, carbon atom decided to share the electrons. Understood? So far, aluminium is losing the electrons, oxygen is gaining the electrons, fluorine is gaining the electron, carbon atom is sharing the electron. Right? Carbon atom is sharing the electron. How? Now carbon atom says it has 2,4 electrons, right? It has 2,4 electrons. It wants to gain, it wants to become like neon. Carbon atom also wants to become like neon. Just a second. Yes, carbon atom. 2,4, right? Carbon atom also wants to become like neon. So this is carbon atom, nucleus, O K shell, L shell. Right? 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2,4. Right? Carbon is saying that I also wants to become like neon, but I don't want to lose my electron and I don't want to gain outer electrons. I don't want to gain our electrons from outside and I don't want to lose my electrons. So how will it happen? So carbon decided to share the electrons. Carbon decided, I will do one thing. Carbon said that I will share my electrons with another carbon atom. I will share my electrons with another carbon atom like this. Like this. So what will happen? Now carbon atom is there. 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So carbon atom decided that I will do one thing. I will share the electrons. I will share my valence electrons. Carbon decided to share the valence electrons. Okay, carbon decided to share the valence electrons, share its valence electrons with other atom. With other atom, right? With other atom. How? Carbon has 4 electrons in the valence shell. This is carbon 1, this is carbon. Both carbon has 4 electrons in the valence shell. So what happened? This carbon shared its 4 electrons with the 4 electrons of this carbon. So like this. Right? This carbon atom has 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the outer shell. This carbon has 4 electrons in the outer shell, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have told you that sharing, losing and gaining of electrons takes place only in the valence shell. So this carbon has 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the valence shell. This carbon has 4 electrons in the valence shell, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? They will share it. This carbon is saying, this carbon is saying to this carbon that take my electrons whenever you need. Take my electrons wherever you need. Just like suppose you have bike, right? You have bike and I have, suppose your friend has bike and your friend has car. Or you have bike and your friend has car. One day you want to drive the car. You will do one thing, you will ask your friend to give the car and he will give it to you. Right? So he shared his car with you. Similarly, one day your friend asked for the bike because he wants to ride the bike. So you shared the bike. Right? Owner of the bike is you. Owner of the car is him. But still you can use the car and he can use the bike. Right? Same thing here. Owner of these 4 electrons are this carbon and this carbon. Right? These black color electrons, this carbon is the owner. These red color electrons, this carbon is the owner. But both can share. So that means this carbon will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons in the valence shell. This carbon also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons in the valence shell. So that means by sharing the electrons, carbon becomes like by sharing the electron, carbon becomes like neon, right? Right? By sharing the electron, carbon becomes like neon, means 2,8. Understood? So 2 things are covered. 2, 3 things are covered. What is valency? I have told you, right? Now you can answer the valency. Determine their valency. So what is the valency of A? A is 2, 2. So A can easily lose 2 electrons, right? Because helium is another inert gas, has 2 electrons in it, and neon has 2, 8. So it's difficult to gain 6 electrons to become 2, 8, and is easy to lose 2 electrons to become like helium. So A will lose 2 electrons. A will lose 2 electrons. So valency of A is plus 2, right? Because A can lose 2 electrons. B has 2, 8. So B is neon only, right? B is neon because it has 2, 8 valency. It has electronic configuration 2, 8. So B has already 8 electrons in valence shell. B has already 8 electrons in the valence shell. That means B will not lose the electron, it will not gain the electron, it will not share the electron. So that means valency of B is 0. Valency of B is 0. Right? C is 281. So C can lose 1 electron. C can lose 1 electron to become like neon. Right? Neon is 28. So C valency is plus 1. D is 287. So it can gain 1 electron to become 288. That is argon. Argon has 288. Right? So it is minus 1. Gaining of electron minus 1. F 2882. 2882. In this case, it can lose 2 electrons to become like argon, right? F can lose 2 electrons to become like argon. So its valency is 2. Its valency is 2. Understood? So valency is done, configuration is done. Classify them as metal and non-metals. Classify them as metal and non-metal. So write this line. Write the statement. Just write the statement. It says metals and non-metals. Okay. First point, if element has valence electrons, less than 14, less than 4, just a second. If elements has valence electrons less than 4, it is metal. Second, if element has valence electron, greater than 4, right? It is non-metal. Right? Remember this thing. Always remember this thing. If element has valence electrons less than 4, it is metal. If it has valence electrons greater than 4, it is non-metal. So you see, A has 2 electrons means less than 4. A has 2 electrons means less than 4. That means A is metal, right? A is metal. I will write M. A is metal. B 2,8. B is 2,8, right? So valence electrons greater than 4, non-metal. So B is non-metal. NM, non-metal. C 2,8,1. Valence electron 1, less than 4 means metal. Means C is metal. D 287 has 7 electrons, more than 4. That means non-metal. Right? E 2 electrons means less than 4. Again metal. So you can see A, C, E. A, C are metals, B and D are non-metals. Okay? A, C and D are metals. Understood? Understood this question? The reason behind giving you this question is that you understand. The reason behind giving you the question is you understand distribution, electronic distribution, valency and classification as metal and non-metals. For this classification as metal and non-metals, remember this thing. If element has valence electrons less than 4, it's metal. If element has valence electrons greater than 4, it is non-metal. Right? Chalo. This one. If atom gains only 1 electron in its valence shell, then ions so formed will have what? This question we have just gone through it. We have just done this question, right? So I don't think it's a difficult one. Take your time. Take your time and give the answer. Yes, did you get the answer? It's very easy, right? 43 seconds are passed, and this already we have done this question. We have already done this question. I mean this type of question, not the question but concept we have done. And just 2 minutes back I have taught you the same thing, right? So if atom gains only one electron, suppose this is the X atom, which has number of protons is equal to 10, number of electrons is equal to 10. Neutral atom, let's say neutral atom. It gains one electron. It gains one electron, it will form X minus, right? X minus has number of protons is equal to 10, but number of electrons is equal to 11, right? So this is what? You see, proton is 10, electrons is 11. So extra negative charge, 1 unit and unit, extra negative charge, right? There is one extra charge, one negative extra charge is there, right? That's why it is X minus 1. It is X minus 1. So answer is 1 unit positive charge, no, 1 unit negative charge, yes. B answer, right? Next, this one, do this one. For this question I give you 30 seconds. For this question I give you 30 seconds. We have already done this thing, right? We have already done this thing. In the previous session, during isotopes, we have done this thing in the theory. So I know you can do this question. So take 30 seconds and do it and give me the answer. Okay. So what is it? Chlorine 3517 and chlorine 3077, right? We know the isotopes of chlorine. Chlorine isotopes are Cl 1735, Cl 1737. We know this thing, right? We know this thing. And this is present 75% abundance. This is 25% abundance, right? Natural abundance. So answer is C. Next, this one. This is directly the definition. This is directly the definition. So 30 seconds for it. 30 seconds for it. Try this question. Try this question. You can do it. Just 10 seconds remaining. Just 10 seconds. Yeah. So question is the atoms of elements which have same atomic number but different mass number are what? They are isotopes only, right? They are isotopes. Easy definition. Okay. The point is why I'm giving you some simple questions. The point is why I'm giving you some simple questions just to boost your confidence. Okay. Just to boost your confidence in case you get the right answer in few questions. Okay. Next one. The atomic number of element PQR are this, right? State with the reason which two elements are likely to have same chemical properties. Now this is important. This is important. I give you 1 minute. Try. I give you 1 minute. Try this question. Okay. I give you 1 minute. Solve this question and give me the answer. Solve this question. Do one thing, take 30 seconds only, because anyway I have to teach concept. So if you get the answer, you will get the answer quickly. If you not, then most likely you will not get. So I will teach you the concept, then you can get the answer. Okay. Now the question says two atomic numbers, the atomic numbers of PQR, P, Q and R. Their atomic number are 7, 11, 15. 7, 11 and 15. State with the reason which two elements are likely to have same chemical properties. Two elements which are likely to have same chemical properties. Now, if we write the configuration of P, it is 2, 5. Q, 11 electrons means 281. And R has 285. Right? Now the point is state with the reason which two elements. So write it here, two elements having same number of having same number of valence electrons. Okay, two elements having same number of valence electrons shows similar chemical properties. Okay, shows similar chemical properties. Two elements having same number of valence electrons shows similar chemical properties. So you see, P has 5 electrons, Q has 1 valence electron, and R has 5 valence electrons. So what are those two elements? P and R. So answer is C, right? Answer is C. The catch in this question is that which elements has same valence electrons? Same valence electrons means similar chemical properties. This is the catch, right? Catches win the matches, right? So you got the right answer here as C, right? Chalo. Next, number of neutrons in 3 isotopes of hydrogen. Number of neutrons in the 3 isotopes of hydrogen are what? Same thing we have done in the theory only. So I'll do one thing, I'll give you 30 seconds. Come up with the right answer quickly. Okay? Take 30 seconds only and come up with the right answer. Number of neutrons in 3 isotopes of hydrogen, HDT. How many are they? Right. So 10 seconds remaining, and then I will have to solve it for you. Yes, I have already told you hydrogen, deuterium, tritium, 1 1 1 2 1 3. This is A, this is Z, and we know A is equal to Z plus N. So N is equal to A minus Z, right? So that means N is equal to A minus Z. So here 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 1 1, 3 minus 1 2, right? HDT 0 1 2. Number of neutrons 0 1 2. A answer 0 1 2. Right? Easy peasy. Right? Chalo. Next one. Which of the following statements is not correct? Take 30 seconds and come up with the right answer. Take 30 seconds. 30 seconds are given to you. Take 30 seconds and come up with the right answer. Which of the following statements is not correct regarding the isotopes, isobars, and isotones? Which of the following statements are not correct for the isotones, isotopes, and isobars? Take 30 seconds and come up with the right answer. Right? Okay. Chalo. So isotopes have same number of neutrons. Is it so? False. Because isotopes have same number of protons but different neutrons. Isobars have same number of neutrons. False. Because isobars have same mass number but different proton number, right? Same mass number but different atomic number. Isotones have same number of protons. Again false. Because isotones means what? Same neutron.